Okay, folks, we're just about getting ready. My name is Lee Goldstein. Just somebody out there, let me know that you can hear me real well and that the sound is good and that you can see the screen, obviously, that says JOBB on it and trap. Let me know that you can hear me great. Okay. Wow. What an enthusiastic group. This is awesome. We had to change the schedule because there was an emergency that came up and everything's going to go on as planned. We're just going to swap. I'm going to go first. My name is Lee Goldstein from JOBB. Actually, we're now called the newstraders.com. And JOBB is actually the name of the software platform that we use to trade. And I say trade, years ago, I used to say trade the news, but now I just say trade because we've done so many changes in our company. Absolutely, yes, we trade the news. That'll always be our specialty, but we've done some exciting new things this year. I'll tell you about them. I'm not going to spend a ton of your time because I think these things should be quick. I'm not a big sales guy. I would rather teach you something than push products down your throat. Everybody else does that. And I'm not counting Mark and Rory in that picture because they have, I think, one of the most exciting systems that they're going to show you. And we're both hooked on UniRenkos this month. I love UniRenkos also, and we use them in our system. But we're a little bit different because our system uses anything you want to use. But let me get the dirty work out of the way. And I say the dirty work, it's not really dirty work, it's just the rules of the game. This is a disclosure that the government wants us to tell you about. You have to know that if you trade anything, futures, stocks, Forex, you could lose all your money. You could be shut down in trades because you don't have enough money in your account. You have to understand that things that we're showing you are things that happened. We can't guarantee the future. We can only hope that things are going to be really good because our system is really good. And then finally, we do this for education. I do, at least. I am not a professional financial advisor. I would never tell you how to deal with your money for every little bit, and every single piece of advice would not come from me. So I can help you to learn how to trade the news. I promise you I can do that really well, but I don't want to lie to you and make you think that I'm a financial advisor and I know everything there is to know about trading. That would be untruthful. So let's start on the right foot with complete and total honesty, because that is the way that we run our company. And that's the reason I'm involved with this company. We are 100% transparent. And when I say 100%, every day, almost every single day, people come into our trade room and they watch us trade the news live. And if we're not doing it live, we tell you. And if we are doing it live, you'll see us win and you'll see us lose. And we're not going to come on here and tell you that our system is 900% a winning system. I'm going to come on here and tell you that my goal in life is to empower you to understand how to do what we do. If I can walk away from this world knowing that I taught people how to do what I do, then I would be a very happy person because I feel like I know how to do what I'm doing. We want you to learn how to find your own trades. We want you to learn how to test the system so you know when to trade. I don't want you to just go out there and follow me every day in the room, because sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I'll hit the wrong button. But if you know how to do it yourself, then you're going to not need me. And that is the goal. That is the most important thing that I could bring to you in any webinar or in anything that I'd ever do in my life. That's what every great teacher did for me. They taught me things that I've kept with me for my whole life. And that's my goal here today. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm only going to give you a couple of things that you can take with you. But at least at a minimum, I'm going to teach you how to find the trades so that if you want to trade the news on your own, you're going to be able to do that. It's actually really easy. But let me start from the beginning. I'm going to zoom through our PowerPoint because I cannot tolerate PowerPoints. I think that they are just, kind of artificial, but they sometimes get some news across, so that's okay. We have something that I happen to be pretty obsessed with these days. It's called the one-click range trade. The irony of the one-click range trade is that it was a programming accident. We have a great programmer who I had noticed that the market always consolidates and breaks out of those consolidations. Let me see if I can show you a picture of a market that might be in consolidation. And we're just lucky enough that we do have one. If you look carefully where my cursor is moving, that's the oil market from a couple of days ago. And it was consolidating right before the oil report, which is pretty common. And then boom, the oil report exploded and it broke out of the consolidation. We happened to also trade that report live with our news trading system. We had a plan. Our plan was, let's just grab 7 ticks out of this report. We grabbed our 7 ticks in about 15 seconds, and we were done trading the oil report. What's interesting about the particular report that took place this week, you can't tell that when that news came out, and this is the whole crux of news trading. What is news trading? It's the reaction of an index when news is released. That's all it is. The government might release the news, the FOMC, for instance. They might release oil storage numbers. That's what caused this pop in oil. There was a drawdown. More oil was used than they thought. But that's all that news trading is. We try to take advantage of the pop or the drop, the breakout of the consolidation when the news is released. But what I noticed, just to get back to my original point about the one-click range trade, which is something new we've given to all our members, and all our members got this new trade for free, and it was all a programming error. What we thought and what I thought was that the market always consolidates, and then it always breaks out of the consolidation. Why don't I update our software so that if it does break out of this consolidation, we'd have a way to trade it? So I asked the programmer to write a program, add to our existing program a consolidation mode. If we see this, if we see the index in consolidation, let our members use the software to break out of that consolidation and to make a trade happen while that occurs. So rather than go through just a boring PowerPoint, let me show you what it turned into, because I think it's more interesting than just going through the PowerPoint. I can tell you who our people are. I gave you the risk disclosure. Eric Spiker, E-Money, we call him. He doubled his account when he first started here at JOBB. He's a great guy. He's my boss. He's got 2 kids now. But here's what I love the most. The one-click range trade to me is so much fun and so exciting. If you want to trade the news with it, you could. You could trade it just like a bracket trade. And I'll show you some real trades because that's what we specialize in. This week, we traded Philly Fed. One of our members made $90 real money. I'm never going to show you a member who didn't show us real money because you could tell it's real. They took their account out of it, okay, their account number. I had another member, same trade, Philly Fed. He made $240 on that trade. And when I say that was in 1 second, that's how long that trade took. 1 second. Because when the Philly Fed news was announced, gold popped immediately. And we took advantage of that trade, okay? Because that's what we do and that's what our software does. But our software does this really cool thing now also. And I'll actually just show you by booting my own platform. One of the reasons I wanted to be at 3 o'clock is it's a much better trading time. This is not a very good trading time, in my opinion. So I'll just show you what it does, but I'm probably not really going to trade. So we have this new little setup. And it will not take me very long to set it up. It'll take me maybe a couple of seconds. I'm going to use four positions. I'm going to just look for 6 ticks. I'm going to have a stop loss of 18 ticks, and I'm going to trail my stop. Our software lets you trail, and it's already set up for me because I set it up before the webinar, and you can see what it does. What I asked the programmer to do was create a range of consolidation that our members could say, hey, I'm looking at the market. I see a consolidation. Let me draw the range. And what the programmer did by accident is he kept the range drawing. When he kept the range drawing, it allowed us to continually put on trade after trade after trade, say when the trade was done. In other words, let's say that I see a trade here going short, which actually, if this market moves south, there is a possibility, even though it's not the best time of day, there is a possibility it'll break through this line right here. I would put my orders here. Here's where I would put my orders if I were going to trade this for real. I would move this a little bit out of the way because I'm not that interested in going long right now. I don't have good long signals, and I really don't have good short signals, but just so you understand how this works and why it's not just a news trade. It's a trade that you could trade any time of the day. If your settings are big enough, if your stop is big enough, it could be a trend trade. It could be a scalp trade. I would trade it. I would really seriously consider going short below this line here, which happens to be just one of our signals that are very powerful for going short in this trade. Again, this is not my time of day that I trade. I like to trade when the market is much faster. This is moving like molasses to me, so you don't get the follow through that you would normally get. So what we'll do is we'll come back and revisit this. Let's just try and remember that 84.50 was our short, okay? Somebody out there remember that 84.50 is our short. JP, can you see my chart now? You're saying no chart. I assume you can see my chart. Let me know if you can't. You can't see the chart? Can anybody, everybody, I know you can, people should be able to see the charts because I can see them. JP, you're the only one who can't see it. So I don't know why you're not seeing it. You should probably reboot and come back in. Reboot and come back in. Okay? Because everybody could see it. So this is the one-click range trade. All you do is click it. It's kind of ironic. In Ninja Trader, which is the platform we use, you actually have to click it twice. But we called it the one-click range trade because if I turn it off by clicking the enabled button, that turns off the trade. I can turn it back by clicking the button once, and now my range is drawing again, which it will. And then to go actually put the orders on, I have to click it twice. So we should have called it the two-click range trade, but we didn't. So you've got a consolidation. Yellow candles tell us that. I would not probably trade this live. I don't have good enough signals, but often when the price bursts through this particular indicator we use, not always, but often, we will get a successful trade. So we'll watch, we'll come back. I'm not, like I said, I would rather trade the close, which is 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. You get a lot more action, a lot more speed, and you can see the market is just kind of meandering around. So remember, 80-25, 80-25 right now is our short. If somebody remembers that, we'll come back to it later, okay? It's hard for me to walk away because I just love this trade so much, but I will. So that's our one-click range trade. The point of it, again, is it can be traded any time of the day. It can be scalped. It can be trend traded. You can do anything with it. We have 3 major indicators we use with it. Maybe 4. Watch it. It's going to go short. It's going to fill me. Whether it follows through at this time of the day is a little bit iffy, in my opinion. but let's take a look. If it winds up filling me before I close it down, we could watch it for a second. But you could see red candles is a good signal. This dashed line is a great signal, but it's not really moving down all that heavily. And the DMI is on the wrong side of 0. So I probably wouldn't even take that trade with real money, to be honest, okay? All the signals aren't there. You want to follow all the signals, but that's our one-click range trade. You have to have the right time of day, just like anything you do with trading. You don't just willy-nilly throw your charts on, unless you want to lose money. You could throw your charts on. You want to do it at the right time of the day, busy times of the day, when you have signals. For instance, you had signals here. You had blue candles. You had sloping indicators, sloping indicators. Those are good signals. Let's move on to some of the other things that we do, and then possibly we'll come back to this if we have time. So we trade the news. That's like the big thing that we do the most. Jay was the man who designed our software in the very beginning. He thought this whole idea up. Jay Offner is our founder. Great guy, lives in Hawaii. You can't get luckier than that. That's me. That's what I look like. I still look like that today. I've got 2 kids. I'm a happy person. You could tell that by listening to me. And news trading 101, I already told you what it is. When news comes out, that is what causes price to explode. So how do you find news? What do you do if you know nothing about trading the news? You want to get yourself a good calendar like Forex Factory. Load it up. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. forexfactory.com. And then every week you can go through the schedule of news that's coming out. When you see these red file folders or red fires, that represents potentially big moving news. Now, I've been trading the news for years and years and years, and I know for a fact that it doesn't have to be red for it to be a good news report to trade. And that's very important about, hey, why does somebody join up with us? They join up with us to use our knowledge about what we know about what news reports to trade. Yesterday, we traded Philly Fed. If you look at the way it's rated, I'll guarantee you, I didn't look at it here, it's not red. Philly Fed is not going to be red. Let's go down and see if I can find it. I don't even know if I could find it because I might be in the wrong. Let's see. We want to be in 420. Got to be in the right week. If you go look down at Philly Fed, I'll bet you Philly Fed is not red, and it's not. Here's Philly Fed, April 19th. It was an 8:30 trade. It's in between red and yellow, and what that means is it might have some impact, but not a huge impact. I've been watching Philly Fed for 6 months, and it's been a good trade. So people in our room that come to our trade room that traded it live, they made money. You saw the proof. Michael made $240 in 1 second. I didn't make that up. We trade about 35 reports a month. It changes every month. You can see why. Sometimes we'll trade, sometimes we won't. New Zealand, we might not trade because we know the liquidity is very, very low. Here's the best part. The most interesting thing about all this stuff that I love the most. I don't think you can ever not hear my enthusiasm for trading the news. But look what New Zealand did. It was an awesome trade. I happen to be watching the market because I love the crazy trades, the trades that no one will touch. And this was the New Zealand CPI that we said is probably too dangerous to trade. Using our bracket software, the orders were put on the chart automatically, and it would have been a profitable trade. This is a test trade. I did not trade it live because I only remembered that it was trading like 30 seconds before it traded, and I just barely got our trade on. But again, it's a test. So it goes in your journal, and you know that maybe next month you'll trade New Zealand CPI, and it won't be so risky, even though you might be aware that it'll have some slippage, but it is a tradable report. So how do you find the news is what I was talking about. Forexfactory.com. Go through all the reports, figure out what might be interesting to trade, and then you want to look back and find a way to uh, test those reports. Now, David asks a great question. As a Top Step funded trader, he's barred from trading news events 1 minute and 1 minute after a major announcement, until 1 minute before and after. In other words, he can't trade at the exact moment of the news. And David, that's not true of all the news. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are some news reports you can trade exactly at the time of the news. That would be my guess. It's the major ones. We have a bunch of minor ones that you would be able to trade. So for one, you can absolutely use our system. And in fact, 2 weeks from now is one of my favorite weeks, David. But just to answer your question, a lot of people trade reversal trades in our trade room. They don't even use our system. They just hang out with us in our community. Some people like our community. Obviously, some people, they've checked us out and they've gone on to other things. But we teach a lot about trading the news with our software. If you don't use our software, you could still hang out in our trade room. We don't require that you buy our software to use our trade room. And in fact, we have a really low price cost just for our trade room if someone wants to do that. And we do not require anything. You can hang out just like a member, get all the information we give our members without buying or without renting our software. Okay. So I would say there is still benefit in hanging around and using our software after the news. You have the one-click range trade. We also have another trade called the range trade. So there's actually a lot of different trades you could set up that aren't even news related that you could use our platform for. Our platform has been tremendously updated over the past year. So to answer your question, I understand the deal with Top Step. I know that they have some strict rules. Quite a few of our members are Top Step traders. A bunch of them, David, have 2 accounts, and they trade the news in one account and they trade their Top Step in another account. I think a lot of traders have multi-accounts, to be honest. So that's another way to deal with it if you want to trade the news. But what I was going to say, David, just to answer your question even more fully, because I know there's a lot of people like you out there, you're allowed to trade. Eric, I'll answer that in a second. You're allowed to trade minor news from my understanding. So if you look at the week, the first week in the month is always one of the best weeks. Let me just make sure that I have the right week for you. I know you can't trade non-farm payroll, but we have this really cool report. I don't know if you can trade the ADP report or not, but I would bet that you could trade the preliminary non-farm productivity report. That's a report that I've been trading on my own for years, David, and it is, I would say it's an 80% successful report using gold. Okay. It's a small report, but it's awesome. Eric asks, what's our 3 top news reports? The first thing I would tell you, Eric, is reports are always changing. So what I tell you today might be different 6 months from now. But ironically, ADP is in the top. US retail was in the top, but they just changed it. So I know retail is going to change. US CPI is up there. Australian GDP quarterly is up there. WASD is up there, which is a grain report that nobody knows about. The quarterly grain report nobody knows about except grain traders. One of the best trades we've ever traded. Non-farm payroll is probably our top trade. We almost always make money on that trade. It's probably a 90% successful trade. Believe it or not, Australian trade balance is phenomenal. Really great trade. So there's more than 3 good ones, and there's plenty of medium ones. The medium ones are what I call the 50-50s, the ones you have to be careful. You have to trade them when they're performing well. And one of the things we've started doing more and more, because we've realized that if you just willy-nilly trade every single report, you'll lose money. But if you do more and more testing and trade the better performing reports, you'll do better with our system. not counting our one-click range trade, which we haven't even gone fully live with yet. We have members that are trading live with it. I have not traded live with it yet as a setup, as a typical, regular, everyday setup. Only because I'm looking for the safest thing that I could find. But some of our members are already scalping with it because one of the things it does really well is a scalping system. But the other thing I was going to get back to, David asked a great question. I know you can trade the beige book. I'm not even sure that the beige book is a valid trade yet, David, but what I noticed is using our one-click range trade. I happened to be sitting in front of my computer last month before the beige book, so I figured I'd set up the same trade this month before the beige book, and I set up a trade, a range trade with the one-click. And what I do is I put the trade on the range you can watch, and that doesn't mean you're in the trade. It just means you're watching. But I'll actually put myself into the trade with a setup I used last month on the beige book, 1 second before the report comes out. And I would wait a minute and a half before I would cancel this trade, because you got to figure they're going to read the report. Not everybody gets it early like the insider traders do. So the report's now out. My order is on the charts, automatically done by the software. The trade is managed automatically by the software. I can override it because it's NinjaTrader. I could move my orders, okay, so that I get filled sooner. But I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to see if the beige book would work. And I got filled in 27 seconds. It pulled down. I had pretty small targets. Our trailing stop started to work. Our software supports trailing stops. I moved my stop manually so that if it fully reversed on me, I'd still have a profitable trade. It then continued to trail. Now, remember, this is just the beige book. This is not very impactful news. And then it reversed, but it made me 155 test dollars for 2 valid beige book tests in a row. I like to see, honestly, I like to see 6 months of testing. But if I get 3 or 4 beige books in a row that are working, I'll probably call a live room and trade it, and we'll give it a shot, because it's worth a shot if that happens. David, are those reports that you cannot trade, or are those reports you can? I'm assuming those are reports you cannot. Crop production, FOMC statement, US GDP, ADP, non-farm employment. Okay, but you can trade that little non-farm one I'm talking about. That's called non-farm productivity. You could trade Philly Fed. So there are reports that you could definitely trade. I'm positive. So we have plenty for you to do. Plenty that we can teach you, even if you only joined for 3 months or 4 months. You don't have to stay forever. There's a lot we can teach you in 4 months. And some people do that. They stay for a little while. Some people stay and come back. I mean, I see a ton of my members here. I see a ton of former members. I see a ton of regular members. It's amazing that it's one of the things I love the most about the webinars. So I'll continue. So I've taught you how to find trades. Forex Factory. Then you can go to investing.com, another excellent website. Investing.com has great news. We actually use this site at the exact moment of the news. They show you the news. We also use a squawk box called Talking Forex. And if you hear talking in the background, I always have it on, because if something happens during the day that might make me want to open my platform, something very dramatic, it might create a trading opportunity. So it's really great to have some sort of a squawk box. Vasily, we do not offer free trials. We have a free trade every week. Our trade room was free for a year and a half, but we've changed now. Our trades, Kathleen, are never on Forex. We use futures only. Let me get into that. I just wanted to show you how to find your own trades before I started to sell you a little bit. So you have forexfactory.com, investing.com, fasteconomicnews.com, which is a Forex news trading site. But what's nice about them is they have a great calendar that we like. We recommend everybody use it and check it out. They have great calendar, a great calendar, great charts, and I would highly recommend it. But about us, Kathleen, we don't use Forex at all. Forex doesn't give you a fair deal when you trade the news, in my opinion. We use Ninja Trader. We support 7 and 8. We prefer 7. It definitely has better indicators. This is just the things I just went over before, the websites you can check out for calendars. I'll show you very briefly. Before a trade, every day before a trade, our members get a report about the news trade we're going to trade. Every week, they get a weekly report. It looks like this. It shows every trade we're going to trade that week. This happened to be this week's trades. And then I add to this by finding extra trades. These are Jay's trades. Jay's our founder. He's the one who generates the HIRA report. The HIRA report is the trade, the actual trade report that shows you how to place a trade if you want to follow our exact recommendations. In the long run, the people that do the best do not follow our exact recommendations. They learn how to do it on their own, and they make their own setups. Okay, I will never lie to you. It's like what I said at the beginning. If you learn how to set up your own setups, you will do better than if you just follow somebody and follow their setups. But let me give you a couple of examples. So we give everyone a report before every single trade, except for our extra trades. Extra trades we do in our trade room. So if you don't come into the trade room, you might not be privy to all of our extra trades. And I do at least a couple every month, and most of them work because I don't do them without a lot of testing. Philly Fed yesterday was an extra trade. Okay, that was a trade that Jay, for whatever reason, we used to trade it when it was at 10 o'clock. When it went to 8:30 in the morning, we stopped trading it. Just to give you an idea real quick, here's what it looked like. Here's what one of our trades in real time looks like. And this is real quick if I can get it to work. Let's see if I can. Here it is. This is the trade. Philly Fed, it's going to take place in 5 seconds. You'll see that this is gold. Our software is going to automatically put the orders on the chart. And for some reason, I did it too quickly. Let me just get it started for you here. It's going to put the orders right at there's our orders. The trade is now over. Okay, 90 bucks. It was less than 2 seconds. That was the Philly Fed yesterday. And it was yesterday. I mean, I'm not making, taking trades from 6 months ago because we don't trade. This was yesterday's trade. This morning's Canadian CPI retail sales happens to be a very risky trade. I did not get filled because I used a certain protection in our software that prevented my fill because there was too much slippage on the trade. But people that did trade it and didn't use that protection, they made about 50 bucks because the Canadian dollar has a lot of slippage. It's just the way that it is. So Kathleen, to get back to your question, Vasily, we don't have a free trial, but we have a free trade every single week. And unfortunately, we were free for a year and a half. We're not going to be free anymore. You sort of missed out, but you didn't miss out totally because we have a free trade every week. So you could check us out every single week. And the truth is, Vasily, if you send me an email, I'll always let you into the trade room anyway. So if you want to check us out, here's my email. And this is my email for everybody. We'll let you come into the trade room. We're really not afraid of showing what we do. My email is procall33@gmail.com. Yup, Procall Harem, White a Shade of Pale, my favorite song in history. All right. So we use futures because the brokers, even though the brokers are difficult, as brokers tend to be, they're not like the Forex brokers. They don't move the prices before the trade. They at least are fair before the trade. Okay, that's why we don't recommend Forex. We also have something called a trap trade. It's for bank statement trades. It's for trades that we think are going to reverse dramatically. Of course, we have a member area. Of course, we have a software platform. The big thing that we've done for our members this year is the free software upgrades. It's ridiculous how many upgrades we gave our members this year. I would say that we took our platform from a simple breakout news trader into a full-blown professional discretionary and news trading platform. We've added all sorts of new features to the platform, trailing stops, more orders, the ability to move your stops, just better ways of entering trades with a range, without a range, trade in one direction or both directions, long only, short only. We've done a tremendous amount of updating to our software. Our members got that for free. We didn't charge one penny. And when I tell you we paid our programmer a lot of money, you have to believe me. We paid our programmer a lot of money. Another trade, but what we love the most actually is when members send us their results. I don't get up at 4:30. I'm the trade room moderator. I'm the guy that you deal with in the trade room. I don't get up at 4:30 to trade the Great Britain reports, but one of our members lives overseas. He traded the British CPI this week. He made $106 on it. Nothing wrong with making $106 for about a half hour's worth of work. If you spend a half hour, that's about what's honest, what you might spend. You could do it in 15 minutes. You could trade our trades in 15 minutes, but I would recommend a half hour for our trades. I traded oil live, as I showed you this week, for $70. That was a very quick trade, maybe 20 seconds. I can show you trade after trade after trade. There's certain trades that in particular are very popular. For instance, the non-farm payroll trades are our favorite trades. They've been our most profitable. $450 trading gold on that one. Every month, the non-farm payrolls come out, and almost every month, they're profitable. It's like I said, it's an 80% profitable trade. Here's another one. One of our members sent us $220 on the non-farm payrolls. That one was April. That was recent. Okay, April 6th. So that was very recent. We go back, like for instance, here's February's non-farm payroll. One of our members made $520 on it. These are not fake, made-up screens. You could see their account numbers are cut out of them. I'm not going to show you their real account numbers. They don't want you to know them. That's non-farm payroll. Another really popular report has been U.S. retail. U.S. retail has been awesome. We traded on gold. One of our members made $830 on the last two U.S. retail trades ago, because the last one they changed, and we have to now change the way we trade U.S. retail. February's new U.S. retail, and Renko made $2,800 on it. And no joke, he really made that. And look, I'm not here. I told you from the very beginning, every trade doesn't work, but we will help you, and we will try to help you find the ones that do. We want you to be successful. We don't want you to fail at this. But you have to you have to do the right things. Don't trade with $500 in your account. Trade with a properly funded account. The biggest mistake that traders make, that I see them do, is they trade underfunded. You don't want to do any trading with $2,500. If you have bad trades, you're going to immediately start worrying that you're going to run out of money. Right now, Todd, it is broker specific. We're Ninja Trader only. We are looking at new platforms for this year. It is virtually, as sure as I'm sitting here, we will have other platforms this year. We are not going to stay with just one company. We just don't think that that is the right thing to do. And we want to open our software up to newer and more members, to be honest. what do you get with our software? You get all the things that we talked about: trap trade, breakout trade, one-click trade, range trade, fantastic email support. We will help you if you really need help and you're really gonna bug me. I'll come onto your computer and set your charts up, okay? I would rather that you let me help you do it without my coming there and doing it, because if you know how to do it, then I'm not going to be here forever. You'll always be able to do it yourself. Okay. Here's a trade a member made on the oil report, $4,500. He was trading 10 contracts. That was live. Okay. That was not a sim trade. I'm running out of time, folks, because I have to get out of here by 2:45. That's what I promised. So we made you a deal for this webinar. We're normally $197 a month, and one of the gentlemen was asking if we have a free trial for $27. You can join our service for a whole month. Okay, we will give you everything we give our members, and our members are going to yell at us. They're going to say, "Oh man, I'm paying so much more than that." But if you do the math, folks, it renews at $97 a month. What happened was, at the last second, we got our website together. It doesn't renew at $197. It's going to renew at $97. So for $27 a month, if you go to www.newjob.ninja, just sign up. It expires tonight. I am not going to spend my weekend emailing you all, bugging you to sign up. Ends next week. One more hour left. I'm not doing that routine this time, folks. Our deal expires tonight. If you don't sign up tonight, it's going to go back to the regular price, which is $197 a month. But if you want to try us out, you can do it before tonight for $27 a month. If that's too much, if that's just not what you want to spend, then you don't want to trade the news, because nobody trades the news as well as we do. And I don't care what anybody says. We have competitors, but I'm telling you that nobody does it as well as we do. Nobody keeps you as safe as we do. Nobody teaches you as much as we do. Nobody has the one-click range trade. That I can guarantee you. Just for fun, let's see where Ninja is. Let's see if we could figure out if our trade would have worked, or if my Ninja is not. I may not be able to bring it up. I don't know if I can bring it up now. Let me close it. And does anybody remember what that number was on Ninja, where we were going to go short? But for some reason, my Ninja is not showing, but it doesn't matter. I'm telling you that we do that one-click range trade all the time. www.newjob.ninja. Join us for $27 a month. I think it was $68.25. Hala. So let me close my Ninja real quick. I'll end by looking just for fun. Let's see where Ninja is now, if that short might have worked, if it'll let me. It may not let me come in. Here we go. It will let me come in. The market looks like it didn't get there. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like it didn't get to the point of our trade. Okay. So, and that's perfectly okay, because you're not always going to have a trade. I said that this time of day is not my favorite time of day to trade. 68.25. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it did get there. 68.25. No, I don't think it was 25, Hala. I'm sorry. I think it was 68. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's see if we had a signal. The signal was when it broke through this. See this dotted line? That's when we were looking at about 2 o'clock when we first started. Okay. When we first started the webinar, it was 2 o'clock. That would put us right about here. I was looking for a breakthrough of this range up here, of that red line, and it may have worked at around 2:30, but you could see it was not a very impactful trade. I would rather start trading around 3 o'clock when the markets start to really heat up. And I'd like to use I like using UniRenko bars, but I don't want to steal Mark's thunder. Mark's going to show you his UniRenko system. Our 210 tick system works awesome. We also have a 410 tick system that works great. But when we're done with you, yes, it cancels automatically. Todd, you can cancel it automatically yourself if you want to, just by clicking this cancel button. Remember, I enable the trade. I enable the range by just clicking the enable button, but I don't put the trade on until I click the button. Now my orders are actually on the chart. I can cancel the trade if I don't like what I see by just clicking the enable button. Trade canceled. I could keep the range on as long as I want and forever if I want to. Okay. Let me just show you our special one more time. Go to our website, newjob.ninja, newjob.ninja. Sign up for $27 for 1 month, then $97 a month after. My name is Lee Goldstein from thenewstraders.com. I've got 1 minute to answer any other question you want to ask me, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mark because I promised I wouldn't go overtime because those guys are always so nice to me. Any other questions? You can use it on Ninja 7 or Ninja 8. We have both. This will be recorded, Armand. I absolutely will have a recording for you. Are there special brokers? Anthony, right now, if you use Ninja, you have to use Ninja Trader, okay? You have to use Ninja Trader. Let me put the link up. It's www.newjob.ninja. Here it is for everybody to see. Right now, you have to use Ninja Trader. They have some rules that if you were a Ninja Trader user prior to March 15th, 2016, and I believe I have the date right, then you could use AMP or you could use somebody else, okay? But right now, Ninja is the broker that we use. I'm just scrolling back to make sure that I answered everybody's questions. Not Forex. Vasily for 27 bucks. It's not a 100% free trial, but you can't get much cheaper than that to try us for a month. There's no way that you're not going to learn way more than $27 worth of stuff. That's the truth. Khalil Apps. How do you pronounce your first name? Khalil Syed. I hope I pronounced it right. I'll absolutely send you a recording. And anybody else who has a question, newjob.ninja, 27 bucks. Please sign up. Let us teach you everything we know about news trading, everything we know about the one-click range trade, and join our community. Saeed, join our community, and we would love very much to have you become a member. If you don't know Ninja Trader and you have to learn it first, Armand, what you can do, and that's one of the reasons we're only charging $27. But if you sign up, I'll give you a week free so you can set up your Ninja. How's that? Fair enough? You send me an email and I'll give you 5 weeks for the cost of 4. How's that? And that way you can take a week just to get yourself together. All right? I don't know any vendors that'll do that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this presentation over to Mark. I absolutely love Mark's UniRenko system. It's really cool. I think everybody will like it too. And again, I'm Lee Goldstein from thenewstraders.com, newjob, JOBB.ninja. Sign up for 27 bucks. We would love to have you in our community. Mark, I'm giving it to you. Thanks for having me. And it's great seeing all my members out there. I love to see you. If I didn't answer your question, here's my email, final thing, procall33@gmail.com. Send me a message. I will absolutely answer it. A full month is not till the end of April, Todd. We count from the day that you join. We're not cheap. We are the most giving people. We never take advantage of our members, and I would be happy to give you members emails that tell me it's okay. Plenty of them would say, hey, give him my email and I'll tell him how nice you are to your members. We never take advantage of our members. We give you all the time you need. All right, Mark, I'm turning it over to you. Thanks, everybody. It's all yours, Mark.
Hey everyone, I'm just working to get my screen projecting. Okay, hopefully you should be seeing our logo. Hey, thanks, Lee. I always enjoy doing webinars with Lee. He's really honest. They have great software, and in this industry, he's just really a pleasure to work with. And we're at emails info@rightlinetrading.com. Our phone is 786-713-5276. We'll show you that again at the end. And just our quick disclaimer that we have to say that this is for educational and demonstration purposes only. That Right Line Trading takes no responsibility for any participation by visitors or subscribers for profits or losses that may be incurred. Careful consideration of your financial position should always be made prior to trading, and never risk more than 2% of your account on any trade. And you should consult a registered financial advisor before making any trading. So with that said, just a little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania. I'm a former professor at Jefferson College in Philadelphia, and I have published close to 15 peer-reviewed articles in first-year journals. And I've been involved in the financial markets for over 20 years. Actually, 20 years. I started in about 1997. And Right Line Trading is the product of over a decade of analysis of price action, market structure, and indicator algorithms. And our software is truly based on mathematical modeling of closed systems utilizing multivariable equations. I don't really have to go into that in much detail, except to say that we treat day trading and swing trading unlike almost all others. We treat it as a science, not as an art. And because we actually do detailed research into it, what we've been able to do is determine what forces are operational on price at any given second and are responsible for its movement. And in that way, we're able to predict with a high degree of certainty how price is going to move out into the future on any given financial instrument, because they're all subject to the same forces. It doesn't matter whether you're trading a stock, whether you're trading a Forex pair, or whether you're trading a future. Now, our UniRenko system is pretty amazing, and it really gives you precise software-generated entries that work. And we have many, if not the most, top-step traders using our UniRenko trading system. Now, what makes it so good is that the system was created via the use of mathematical modeling techniques. They are computer-driven algorithms. And it's basically the same science that creates almost all software and is used by big companies like Google, Facebook, almost all tech companies. And that's how we're able to predict the future movement of price, which is the dependent variable in a closed system, which is the financial markets. Now, all of our indicators, and you're going to see this in the slides, and you're going to see it on a real-time chart. And we're going to spend a significant amount of time on a live chart, have forward-looking ability. If they can't look out into the future, they have no value. The vast majority, if not all of the indicators that I've looked at, are not able to look out into the future because their creators don't respect the forces that govern the direction of price out into the future. They're all lagging indicators. They're not leading indicators. If what we create doesn't lead price, then it's useless. It's useless to us. So the software is purposed to predict the future movement of price on any instrument. It doesn't make any difference whether it's a future, a Forex pair, or a stock, an ETF. It does not matter. Now, for a long time, I traded range bars. And the reason I like them is because they give you a real nice assessment of price action. I mean, you can tell when you have a full candle body, when you have an engulfing candle, a dark cloud cover, a piercing candle, a doji. That provides the trader with nice information about who's in control of the market and at any given time, the bulls or the bears. But the trade-off is that range provides you with a pretty choppy chart, and it's a little bit it's difficult to trade. So I switched to UniRenko. Now our UniRenko settings are optimized settings based on our algorithms, and each market has its own optimized settings. There's one for Forex, there's one for futures, and different baskets of stocks have different UniRenko settings. Can't have one speed for every single financial instrument. Now, the trade-off is that you don't get to read all price action. But because this is UniRenko and not standard Renko, you do get a fairly good idea of who's in control of the market. Not quite as good as range, but pretty good. So in order to trade UniRenko with smooths out price and gets rid of the chop, you really have to have very, very powerful indicators, or because what everyone does with UniRenko or Renko is they show you periods where the market's trending, and they avoid showing you the periods of time where the market's choppy. And a choppy market can really hurt you when you're trading UniRenko. So they avoid those because they don't have precise enough forward-looking indicators to allow you to sidestep those periods of time to get the winners, but to avoid the losers. And really, I have a couple of mantras, and one of my mantras is, if you want to day trade for profit, it's never about getting the winners. You're always going to be able to catch winners. The important thing is being able to avoid the losers. That's the hard part about day trading. And you have to be able to consistently avoid losers. Now, I'm sorry about my squeaky chair. I've had so many people in my trading room now tell me that the squeaky chair is driving them crazy that I'm actually going to have to get a new one. So if you hear it squeaking, it's just my chair. So just to recap, the weaknesses of UniRenko is they obliterate price action. You cannot evaluate any Japanese candlestick patterns, engulfing, dark cloud cover. You cannot discern a rising and falling triangle, a bull flag, or a bear flag. These are all obliterated by UniRenko. So in order to overcome that, they require really powerful leading indicators to signal an entry. An indicator that's powerful enough to get you into winners and allow you to sidestep the losers. Now, the strength is they filter out a lot of noise, and that noise really gets in your head. It's difficult to trade when there's a lot of noise. Now, this is a full system chart. What I want to do is roll right to here. Now, this is our three-line indicator. And we call it the three-line V2 because it's our version 2, and it's really an amazingly powerful indicator. Now, what it does is a multi-time frame analysis of three independent forces that drive price. The first line is momentum. The second line is stochastic. And the third line, that's very powerful, is order flow analysis. Now, our order flow tracking, I think, is the best. I'm going to show you exactly how we calculate it. Now, when the line is red, what's important also for you to note is that this indicator does not look at any of these parameters from your trading chart itself. It looks at only the 2 higher time frames. Now, for UniRenko, they're simply multiples of our UniRenko settings. The first is 2 times, and the second is 3 times the settings. So they create, a slower chart. So the reason it's an independent variable is it does not look at price on our trading chart. What price does is irrelevant to this indicator. Only what price does on your 2 higher time frames. So let's look at the first line. The first we're going to look at is order flow. Now, there are lots of different ways of tracking. Now, I don't know if you can hear the beeps, but the market is moving like thunder here, and we're getting a lot of beeps. And when you see the kind of entries you get on the system, you're really going to be shocked. Now, above every candle, there's a delta, and the delta shows you the imbalance between aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. Here, there's a major overabundance of sellers. It's minus 1,480. Here again, a major overabundance of aggressive sellers. Here, an overabundance of aggressive buyers. Now, simply because there are areas or tick values within the market where there are hidden traders that absorb buy or sell orders, the delta doesn't always tell you the direction of the candle, which is a problem. So if you assess the delta from your trading chart and simply use an analysis like this, which is just tracking the magnitude of the close of the delta on your trading chart, it has no ability to look out into the future and tell you where price is going to go. Because sometimes you're going to get a positive delta on a down candle, or you're going to get a negative delta on an up candle. Like here. So what we have to do now, these are outliers. 66 2/3%, which is 1 standard deviation's worth of data, move in the correct direction. So what we simply need to do is smooth it out. So what we look at are the 2 higher UniRenko timeframes, and we put the delta into a 15-period moving average. And that 15-period moving average smooths out the data, and it's only calculated again on the 2 higher time frames, not from the delta of your trading chart, and provides you with a very powerful assessment of who's in control of the market, the bulls or the bears. Now, again, the delta of each candle looks at the 2 higher, 3 times, and 9 times slower UniRenko charts. It places each of these values into a 15-period. Now, when both 15-period SMAs are sloping up from the 2 higher time frames, we know that the bulls are firmly in control. The third line, or the order flow line, is going to go green, and price on your trading chart is almost always going to rise. If you try to counter trend trade this, you're almost always going to get stopped out. Now, when both 15-period SMAs are sloping down, it tells you that the bears are firmly in control, and you got to go short. And if you go long, you're almost always going to get stopped out. Now, here's an example. So these are coming right off the charts, and I'm going to show you a live example. So when this is just the order flow line, when this order flow line is green, the 2 higher or longer term time frame UniRenko charts have their SMA 15 sloping to the upside. Price on your chart is almost always going to rise. When it's red, price is almost always going to fall. Even the small area of green here pushed the price up. Here you had nothing, and here only to the long side. It gives you an absolute direction that you have to trade, and the probability of price moving in this direction is exceedingly high. Now, when there's no alignment, it predicts chop. And you can see here, on this up move, for the most part, order flow is red. So you have to wait for price to roll. Here, there's alignment, and you can go long. Here, you have nothing. Here, you've got yourself a long trade. But during these very choppy periods where there's not great alignment, you can stand down. Here is your alignment to the short side. Here is your alignment to the long side. And here, again, you just really don't have anything. On your entry candle here, well, you do really have a long here. Here on your short, you have nothing on your entry candle except yellow. Now here is when you get wonderful alignment. Here's your entry candle, and here's your move long. Here's your chop, no trade. Here's order flow, both SMA 15s to the downside, price falls. Here is where it goes up. So the color of this on your entry candle determines whether or not you're going to take the trade. It's got to be aligned to the upside for a long or to the downside for a short. And it does lead price. I'm going to show you that in a second. Now, for momentum, we use a MACD, which is assessing the slope of the MACD line off of the two higher UniRenko charts. Again, we don't look at anything that's taking place on the trading chart. And when the slope of the MACD on both higher time frames is accelerating away from the signal line, the momentum line, or that first line, is going to be green. When the MACD line is accelerating towards the signal line, it's going to be red. When they don't move in unison, then it's going to be yellow. And that's most likely when the market is going to be in chop. So now we're refining our system, because trading with more and more specificity, because we require order flow and momentum now to be aligned together in order to take a trade. It gets harder to take a trade, but the probability of the trade winning when you get an entry goes higher. So again, just to recap, it looks at the slope of the momentum lines on the two higher. When both lines are green or both lines are red, it tells you the direction of momentum on the two higher UniRenko front time frames. And here we're putting them together. Now we have two independent variables and they must align. Here is momentum up top and order flow down here. Here they must align to the down. They align to the downside, you must trade short. Here they align to the upside, you've got to trade long. Short, long, you have no trade here. I mean, price can move. You're not going to capture every winner, but the probability of getting a winner when you get a trade is exceedingly high. And here with no alignment, you have no entry. And here, you just don't have great alignment. You're not going to have to worry about this because the system is going to calculate this alignment for you, and you're going to see how it's going to even get easier. But here's long only. Now here's long only on the entry, and here's long only. So on this entry, order flow and momentum are aligned, and you go long. On this entry, order flow and momentum are aligned, and you go long. You can't take either of these trades short. And on the entry here, you can't take this trade short. long only, no alignment, chop, long only right here. So now we're going to look at the third line, which is stochastic. Now, the stochastic does a little more of a sophisticated analysis than just looking at the direction of the stochastic line and the signal line. Man, I'm looking at the markets and they are just crashing right now. Holy moly. They are going down like a rocket ship. Now, when the stochastic line is above 80, it's always going to read green, because we believe that if the bears are firmly in control, and it doesn't make any difference whether the stochastic line is above or below the signal line. If the stochastic line is above 80, the stochastic signal in the 3 line will be green. And this is on both longer term time frames. When the stochastic line is below 20, it doesn't make any difference whether it's above or below the signal line. It's always going to read red as long as it's below the 20 on both higher time frames. So when it's overbought, the line is green. When it's oversold, the line is red. Between the 20 and the 80, when both stochastic lines are above the signal line, it's green. And when both stochastic lines are below the signal line, the line is red. And when the stochastic lines are not in agreement, the line is yellow. So again, I put this in just to further clarify that. Here, with the gold line is the stochastic line. And as long as it's above the 80, the stochastic line of the middle is going to be green. And as long as it's below the 20, the stochastic line will always be red, and it doesn't make any difference that it's crossed the signal line here. As long as it's below, it's red. And then in between, here's the stochastic line below the signal line, it's red. Here's the stochastic line above the signal line, it's green. Now, we have a third parameter to deal with. It gets tougher to take a trade, but the probability of getting a winner goes even higher. Because now we're looking at the multi-time frame assessment of order flow, stochastic, and momentum, and none of that assessment is being done on price on your trading chart. It's split off, so it's a totally independent assessment, and it looks at 3 forces that drive price on any financial instrument, on any time frame, in any market. Now, if that wasn't the case, then it wouldn't be real. I mean, if someone tells you that it only works on a certain time frame, and it works on stocks but not on futures, or it works on futures and not on stocks, then it really can't be an independent variable that is able to look out into the future and determine the direction of price, because these are universal forces. They're not just operational on one given financial market. They have to be operational on all of them, or they're just not, or in some way or another, they're flawed and they're not going to work for you. So we're looking for all 3 lines to be in place. Here, for a long, you don't have anything here. And right here on this pull up, here's your trade short, right here. If you're stopped out, you can go back in and go back down. So here's the thing. Trying to look at these 3 lines and seeing when they're all in alignment can be a chore if you're trying to trade multiple instruments. And in the trading room, we do trade multiple instruments. Now we're trading the E-mini, and we're in the process of deciding whether our second instrument is going to stay crude. But we're creating a really great NASDAQ and Dow chart, so we may move the other instrument. But if you want to trade more than one, trying to look at these 3 lines can be tough. So what we did was we project the results of the 3 line directly onto the candles, making the assessment easy. So now, when the candle halo is blue, now these colors, you can decide what you want. I just have them yellow for down alignment, and I have them blue for up alignment. And you can also control the thickness. So I'm not even going to look at this chart, because here's what we also do. We make the 3 line. Now, I will show you this. Do you see how this up candle is on a down 3 line? It's telling you beforehand, price is going to roll. Remember I said it's a forward-looking indicator? Here's the up close and the roll. Here's the up candle on the down 3 line, and there's the roll. So it's looking ahead because it's looking at the higher term time frames and predicting not where price is, but where it's going to go. We don't care where it's been. We want to know where it's going into the future. And you can see it has tremendous predictive value. So what we do, we want the workspace to be as clean as possible. So since all the data from the 3 line is projected right onto the candles, we make the 3 line transparent, and it disappears from the chart. You don't even look at it anymore. So now all we do is we just have the candle halo, and that's giving us all the information we need to take a trade. And you can see here there's no 3 line. Now it worked, but we have no entry. We will not take a trade without the 3 line. Now you could chase the trade if you like and go and wait till it aligns on the next candle, but that's always a little bit riskier. When you get this down candle on a blue halo and your next is an up candle, up you go. When you get that down red candle body on a blue, when you get a blue halo on a down candle body, take the long trade. It's always ahead of price. You get great entries, and the chart's clean. Now let me take us off here, and let me move in a chart. Now I don't have the 3 line invisible, but that's what I'm going to do. So I want to make it invisible. I want you to see it's on the chart, but I'm just going to very, very quickly go to plot 1, plot 2, and plot 3. Make these really, well, it doesn't matter how thick they are. I'm going to make this line transparent. I'm going to make this line transparent, and I'm going to make this line transparent. We're going to hit OK, and it's gone. And it's right in here. Now, what we also have to generate the entries, let me move this up, is an exponential oscillator. Now, you're going to generate a long trade or a short trade every time this oscillator crosses the 50 line. That's going to give you your price, your entry. So let's take a look. Let's go back to earlier and take a look at the signals. Let's start right around 9 o'clock. So here's your first entry, right here. Oscillator signal, 3 line alignment. This is right at 9:33. Now this is where the pedal hits the metal. It's a live chart. There's your oscillator signal. Now this is on the YM, and I'll show you any instrument that you like. It's a 2 Renko. Now this is the full excursion. You're not going to get it all, but it's 37 ticks. This trade is on a blue candle halo, so you can't take it. Censors the trade. This is a counter trend trade, long, but the 3 line is aligned to the upside. It's a dangerous trade. I don't necessarily like to counter trend trade, but if you want a counter trend trade, there's another winner. I'm not going to scale all of these. You have no short trade here, no short trade here, and then you have a small short trade here. Then you have a gigantic long trade here. Then you have a nice short trade here. Then you have a really nice short trade here. Now you just don't get into it. Now this long trade, you cannot trade. You can't take a long trade right into the 50. You have to trade down off of it or up above it. It would have really stopped this trade from happening as well. You don't trade into the 50. This is your trade, and we don't have a signal. Now these are 2 tough signals, and these are it depends upon where your first target is, but I think these are both about 7 ticks. This is 5, and I think this is set. These are both 5. Now this is a tough signal. You can't take it into the 50. Here's your short trade, right there. You can't take here. And here's what I'm going to do. Here's your short trade, right here. And you see how this down candle is censored by the up 3 line? You have no short trade. And there's your short trade. Here's your continuation trade, right here. If the up candle knocked you out, you're right back here. One second, I'm sorry. And that's a huge trade. If you want your counter trend, you got it right here. They're riskier. It's simply a matter of whether you want to put them in your playbook. What I would do is wait for the rollover. You have the entry signal right here, and I get this monster winner. Look at the size of that trade. Now, from top to bottom at 62 ticks. There's your counter trend. I wouldn't take it. I'd take the market rollover to the downside because I'm below the 50. I would take this trade short. No, there's no trade here because there's no 3 line. There's your short trade. See, everything else has been censored. There's your short trade. And down you go. You can't take the continuation here, but you can take it here, and that's a winner. Can't take the continuation there because you have no 3 line. Can't take this trade even though it's a winner because it's into the 50. There's your trade. Right here. And it's another winner. Now here is a loser. I'm not going to tell you they're going to be 100% winners. Right here. But here you come right back with a huge winner. Right here. Whoops. Can't take that trade because the 3 line didn't align. There's your counter trend long. There's your short trade. Big winner. Well, moderate winner. Big winner. Huge winner. No trade. No 3 line. No trade, you're into the 50. Counter trend, winner. No trade, no 3 line. No trade, you're into the 50. That's a trade, and that's another. Depending upon where your first target is, that's going to go 4 ticks. That's probably not going to work. And you come right back with this. Now, about 80%, 80+% of your trades are going to work. And the trades that work are going to be real long trades. That's a winner. That's a winner. You just can't take that. That's a winner. Just can't take that because there's no 3 line. If you take the counter trend, that's a winner. Can't take that because it's into the 50. Into the 50. There's nothing here to trade. You can go long here if you want. Got the oscillator signal. Can go long here. You have the oscillator signal. You can take the counter trend if you want. You have no 3 line. Here's a gigantic counter trend trade if you want to take them. So I showed you a couple of losers, but the number of winners you get is enormously high. No 3 line here, no trade. Now you'd be done trading already. And when you go into the afternoon, the market is going to get choppy, but you're still going to get a winner. There's a winner. There's a winner. Tough trade into the 50, but it's a winner. There's 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 another winner. And that's a killer trade. You can take the continuation trade right here for a modest winner. Now, this trade does not work at 15.13. There's a winner. There's a winner. No trade. The counter trend is huge. So that's where we are. Now, when you get later into the afternoon, you start accumulating a couple of losers. But out of every 10, you're going to get 8 winners. And I'll show you another market. Let's look at crude. Now, crude's a very tough market to trade. Just let it reload. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the start of the day. Okay, we have no trade into the 50, no trade into the 50, no trade into the 50. You see, there's your bread and butter. Up candle, down 3 line. There's your trade. Even though this is a counter trend trade, on that signal, you're in, and you get a huge winner. No trade, no 3 line. No trade, no 3 line. There's your short trade. And look what happened right here. Orange on an up candle, 3 line turned first, price turned and ran. The same thing here. Price goes to the downside, 3 line is up. Now the oscillator signal doesn't kick in till here. If you want to be ultra conservative, you're going to take it here. And you get this monster move to the upside. There's your down signal. No, that's an overbought signal. I'm sorry. Price turns, or the 3 line turns on an up candle. There's your oscillator signal, and it's a winner. Now here you finally get a loser. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 winners in a row. Now that should finish your day, actually. And that is a loser. And on the counter trend, that's not going to make it. But it comes right back for a winner, right back for a winner. No long trade, no long trade, no 3 line, no 3 line. Winner, gigantic winner, and a nice winner. I think that's the end of crude for the day. So you got a couple of losers, but an enormous number of huge winners. And the winners come in the morning. So If you can get 3 or 4 winners in a row, you're out. And let me show one more market, and then I'll see if there are any questions. And I'll show you our offer. Why don't I show a stock? Okay, I'll just show the Q. I'll show the QQQ. Now here's the QQQ. Let's go back. All the way. There's a winner. Can't take that trade, no 3 line. Now that is a winner. That is a winner. That is a winner. That is a winner. Now here's you just get stutter. And I don't know what happens, but it's all the same. You see, it's all 956. So it's just stuttering, and there's just nothing to trade here. Then it frees up. There's your winner. No trade. There's your winner. There's a continuation for a winner. There's another winner. There's another winner. And that's a huge winner. Can't take this down candle because it's blue. You know that the up candle, bam, up you go. No oscillator signal, no oscillator signal, red oscillator. Can't take these trades. No signal, no signal. Red oscillator. I'm sorry, red 3 line. There's a winner. There's a winner. I mean, you just get an enormous number of winners. So I wanted to show the charts. I'm never going to represent to you that you're not going to pick up a loser here and there. But it's not unusual. This morning, I'll show you. This is the live trading room. I'll show you how we did. We made $540. We had 3 trades, 3 winners, and gone. Yesterday, we made $460. In 2 days, we made $1,000. So let me quickly show you the offer, and then I will see if there are any questions. Now, whatever system you're using or whatever you're doing, this is going to make your trading, I'm telling you, 1,000% better. And we have had so many people call us and thank us. I kid you not. So the UniRenko 3 line, it's normally $1,100. It's a lifetime license. It's only $599. It includes all future upgrades and add-ons. If we make the 3 line better, we'll give you the better version. If there's something that we do as an add-on to make it better, we will give you that too. In the first 10 orders, you'll also be in the trading room with me, and we're going to make money almost every single day. You get our 10 module weekly. We get our 10 module educational training session, and you get our video tutorial library. And the offer expires on Sunday night. So let me see if there are any questions. Hang on. Okay, hang on here. Let's see. Okay, hang on one second. Let me just go back because I've got Lee's questions too. So okay. So let me just go. Okay. All righty, I'm just moving down. No, Hala, not all futures are set. No, not all futures are set to 2 UniRenko. Our NQ, let me see what our NQ is set at. Hang on a second here. No, it's set at 2 UniRenko. All our futures are 2 UniRenko, every one of them. There's no change. And that's a very, very good question. Well, because you know what, the oscillator color isn't color coded. What's important are the signals the oscillator creates. So you don't really care. If you go back to the QQQ, I'll just close this. You don't care about You really don't have to. The reason I look at the oscillator is it allows me to anticipate when a trade is going to come. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put in an audible alert that occurs one candle before the oscillator to give you the heads up that a potential oscillator signal will come on the next candle. So it's going to be right here. So if the oscillator line is here, and that's it, well, that's 50. It's going to be, let's see, it's going to be about, it's going to be right at 55, and then it's going to be at 45. We may lower it. It's going to fire an audible alert before there's a potential oscillator. So all you really care about is anticipating whether or not you're going to get an up triangle or a down triangle. And the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to make the size of these triangles modifiable. So if you want them bigger, you can make them bigger. So there'll be an audible alert and the triangle will be larger. But I just keep my crosshair and I can anticipate real easily whether there's going to be a signal. And the thing is, they occur intra-candle. And so you can see them flashing when the UniRenko is only half formed. So you already know whether to put your buy order in one tick above the close of the UniRenko. You very rarely miss a signal unless the market's, moving very, very, very fast. When I say no three line, Jojo, I mean that there's no alignment on the three line. Like if we don't have, see these black candles here? I say there's no three line because we don't have the orange for the down or we don't have the blue for the up. So we just don't have any three line alignment. Now it's going to keep us out of some winners, but it's going to prevent us right here. This is a loser if you went long here, but that three line prevented you from taking it. This would have been a small winner, but the three line is red. You can't take a long trade on a red three line. Here, the three line is black, so you can't take the trade. So you have to, if you stay with the rules, you're gonna miss a winner or two, but you're gonna sidestep a lot of losers. This signal came on a black three line. It worked, but it's a lot more dangerous. And if you want to take a counter trend, you must have that three line. It's got to be aligned in your direction. And you don't have to look at the three line, you just look at the candle body halo. Yes, that's the three line, and these are the Renkos. I mean, if you look up at the setting, this is a UniRenko 5210, and that's what we're trading. Now, I'll just show you one thing real quickly that I find very, very helpful. Now, on a reversal candle, you're always going to get 7 ticks of wick, 7 wick, and 5 candle body. That is simply the metrics of the UniRenko. And what you look for in a continuation is a bull failure pattern. Bulls tried to push the market up all the way to here. Then they tried to push it up even further. They tried to push it up all the way to here to try to create a second reversal candle. But they couldn't do it. And the bears took over and slammed the trade down. And when it comes with a three line signal, it usually rocks down. If order flow, stochastic, and momentum are aligned to the downside, and this is all the bulls can do, and then they push that wick a little bit higher, and then and then price collapses, this thing is going to plow down. And the same thing happens with the upside. There's the down candle. The bear has tried to push it down. Unfortunately, you can't take the long trade here, but you can take it here. Bears got 2 candles. They pushed it down. Bulls took it right away from them and rocked it right up. These are really, really good trades. You just have to have the 3 line with you. So although you don't have as much price action as you may want, these wicks give you a really nice assessment. A long shadow here is a bear failure, and a long shadow on the top of the candle is a bull failure. Two, George. We'll give you 2 machine IDs. Mark, right now it's just on Ninja. We'll have it. Well, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little ways away before it's on. Sierra. The moving average I just use to differentiate. At one point, when I first started looking at the system, I felt that you should only take a short on a red 50 and long on a green 50. But after we did a lot of analysis, it turns out that it just doesn't matter. Whatever, it's just not a pertinent or powerful independent variable. All I do, though, is I use the 50 to make an assessment of whether I'm in a bear market or whether I'm in a bull market. So I can differentiate between a trend trade and a counter trend trade. And the trend trades in general are much, much safer. Like this continuation trade short is a great trade. This counter trend trade long is a lot, it works. But when you're on the right edge, this is has a lot more danger to it. So if you want to confine yourself to the real high probability entries, you're going to always trade in the direction of the trend, which is short below the 50 and long above the 50. Like this is, I don't want to say it's a trade that you can back the truck up and take it to the bank, but here is a major entry. You've got the oscillator signal. You can't take the short signal because the oscillator, the 3 line, I'm sorry about the oscillator, is aligned to the upside already on a down candle. So you got no trade here. The trend is up. You can't take the counter trend anyway because of the 3 line. And the 3 lines turn first. Then when price turns, you've got yourself a great trade. And also, not only because of the indicator signals, not only because this is a bull market because you're above the 50, but because the bears got price down to here, then the bulls whipped it right out on this long wick. That's a bear failure, and up it goes. That's a great signal to take long. And those are very, very high probability wins. When the 3 line turns first, and then you get that nice wick and the continuation. And those are what gives you these great continuations here. Now, some traders will only take a continuation with an oscillator signal, like this. And this is definitely a winner. But I'll take a continuation without it because I like that wick. That wick tells me that's a bear fail, that's a bull failure. And this is likely to fire down right through my first target. And this, listen, these are pretty decent trades. Now remember, we're trading the QQQ. But if I covered the QQQ, you would not know this is not crude or some other stock. It's 21 cents. It's irrelevant. Now, if you want to trade Amazon or you want to trade Google, we're going to have to send you the UniRenko settings. Those are a multiple of 3, 15, 6, and 30. If you want to trade a $1,500 stock, the Forex are all 10, 4, and 20. But we'll give you all those numbers. We have them all worked out. And Forex, I don't have my Forex data feed hooked up. I'd have to collapse my whole system, take apart my futures and stock data feed, attached my FX data feed to show you, but I'm telling you that the signals on the Forex are superlative signals. Same as you see here. Larry, we trade 4 in the room. So the 3 trades, 540 was on 4 contracts. Here's the 3 numbers. They simply define the configuration. The 10 tick reversal and the 2 tick trend. Well, the 2 tells you that every time you get 2 ticks to the upside, you get a new UniRenko. So in a trend, that 2 tells you how many ticks you got to move to get a new UniRenko. And you see what it says? It says tick trend. Now we've tried a 1, but to move 1 cent and get a new UniRenko is way too fast. 3 is too slow. The open offset is 5. That means the smallest candle body you can have is 5 ticks, cents, or pips. And the 10 plus 2 tells you the maximum size that you can have on a UniRenko candle, and that's going to be on a reversal. So if I remove all of the drawing objects from the chart, and it's really easy if you play with them to get a good feel for the UniRenko settings. But let me just remove all of this, and I'll show you that on this trade here, we go from here to here. See, it's 12 cents. So if you take a 13-cent trailer, the only thing that will take you out of the trade is a reversal candle. And it's a big trailer, but you're never going to get stopped out by a wick. And that's what the 10 plus 2 is. So that's what those 3 numbers mean. If you change the 5 to 4, your candle body on a trend trade is going to be only 4 ticks. It's going to speed the chart up. If you take the trick trend to 1, you're going to get a new Renko every 1 tick. If you make this 10-8, your reversal candle is going to have a smaller length. So the maximum amount of ticks you need on the trailer will decrease, but the speed of the chart is going to increase. I tell you, we've gone over 1 million UniRenko settings, and these are the best for futures. 2 times that are the best for Forex, and it depends on the stock. It depends on the price of the stock. This is Ninja, Hala. Right now that's the only system it's operational. It's great for Ninja. Here's my control panel. If I can find it. Hold on. Here's Ninja Trader, and I'll show you something real quickly. Here's the here's account performance. Will generate $540. Here are my trades from today, and if you move that to currency, I had 1 trade for 187.50. I had 1 trade that I messed up, and we got a break even. 1 for 112.50 and 1 for 240. The 240 was on crude, 112.50 was on the E-mini, and 187.50 was on the E-mini. So this is Ninja Trader. Now, if you traded with me today, you paid for the system. Basically, you paid for the whole system today. So those are the numbers on a payment. Ted, we can always do that. Believe me, that would be very, very, very easy for Sergio to recode. And I'll talk to him about doing that, because I actually do like that idea, to be perfectly honest with you. Everything you see on the screen is included. Everything. The 50, well, the 3-line, the oscillator, everything is there. This is an exponential oscillator. It's very fast. It's everything on this is included. I'm not showing you anything that's not. And that's another good question, because sometimes I do that by mistake. You know what, Larry? I have found that trading UniRenko doesn't really make it very advantageous. Now, here's something I'm going to show you that I shouldn't, but I'll include this for the first 10 only. And I have to. It's going to make a big headache for Sergio, who's going to shoot me in the head because it's not included in the package now, and he's going to have to add it. But I want you to see this, and this does matter. I'm going to show you some pretty neat stuff here. Now, these are our pivots, and let me show you something. Now I'm on the Qs. Let me go to the YM. And I wasn't planning on adding this, but I will. So he's going to have to recode the package a little bit. Hang on one sec. Let the YM come. I'm going to show you some really nice things you can do with the pivots. Now, I hope this isn't going to crash my NinjaTrader so I can kamikaze. Oh, no. Why isn't it responding? You have to hold on a second. I'm going to have to reboot it. Hold on one sec. I'll show you. It's worth staying for because the pivots are pretty amazing. I'll just put this up, and I'll add the pivot indicator. I'll just put the slides up for a second. And I'll see if there are any other questions. Let me just roll down here to our phone number. Let me see if there are any other questions. Then I'm going to show you the pivot indicator. You know what, Mark? You're going to see that you're going to get these winners without those. So that's the reason that these are such primary drivers of price that those additional indicators don't really add much at all. Yeah, it is. Joe, we made the 3-line invisible. We don't need to see the 3-line because it's projecting its data right onto the price bars. So why give yourself a headache in trying to track it? Just watch the candle outline. That candle outline will form intra-candle. Yes, James, that's the 3-line in the Renko bars. Okay, good, Hala. No, our higher time frames are all UniRenko. It is all UniRenko metrics. You just can't mix and match. You can't, obviously you can't match time or tick, and you can't match range. Remember, if you take an 8-range chart, one candle that goes 8 ticks to form another 8-range candle on a 2 UniRenko will form 4 UniRenko candles. So you cannot mix them because it just skews all the data and creates all kinds of false colors. On the QQQ, remember, the 3-line I made invisible. It's on the chart. It's giving the candle halo. But the reason I made it invisible was so you don't have to look at it. If you want to see it, I can, I think when the charts come back up, you're going to see it because of the fact that, just hang on one second. I'm sorry. I think, hold on one sec. Unfortunately, I can't, for some reason, there's something wrong with my Ninja. What I was going to show you was, if price comes up to a pivot, turns, and then comes up to a pivot and creates a lower high, on the rollover, you get a great short trade. It provides you with a lot more market structure than just the 50. That's what I wanted to show you. I don't know why my Ninja Trader collapsed, but it's not rebooting either. And I'm going to include the pivot indicator, and I'm going to start adding it in the room, in our trading room. So you're going to see it in the room. And it's going to provide you with trades, because when you get those lower highs or you get those higher lows coming off of a low pivot with the 3 line and the oscillator signal, it gives you a nice ability to take it long. And that area of support on the low pivot or resistance on the high pivot makes the trade a lot more likely to succeed. So I'm going to add that. Unfortunately, it crashed my Ninja, but I will add it. Oh, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm sorry, Debbie, you're right. Can you show a chart for the ES? Nick, I can't because my Ninja's crashed, but let me tell you something, and I kid you not, that's our bread and butter chart. Yesterday, I had 3 trades and 3 winners on the E-mini. I think it's an amazingly successful chart. And just take my word for it, it trades terrific. Crude, in my opinion, is the most risky because a lot of the volume is institutional volume and it can blow you out of the trade. The E-mini, the Dow, and the NASDAQ trade terrific. The Forex trade really good. And I have not traded it live on stocks, but they give you great signals. All you have to do is look at them. You can see them, after the market closes. Sure, Mark. Mark's asking, what's in the works for new development? We're going to migrate the Renko to NT8 for sure. We're going to get, and you know what we're doing? I'm going to hire an independent contractor to get that 3 line on Sierra. Okay? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. The reason is because I have given Sergio so much stuff to do. This guy's going to have a potential nervous breakdown. So we've got a guy, and we're going to farm out some of these indicators to him. So you know what, Mark? Send me an email and tell me what's your priority, because I know you well. You're a really nice guy, and tell me what you want us to do, and we'll farm some of that work out. Right. The 3 line is projecting that the blue halo around the candle or the yellow halo around the candle. It's the halo around the candle that is created by the 3. See, my Ninja still hasn't even booted. It's just completely dead. And that's what creates that candle halo. And remember, you can still leave the 3 line visible. I just took it out to make it easier to read. I wish I could, Payman. I can't. Listen, order flow. No, Mark. Listen, on order flow, remember, there's market depth. there's a bid side and there's an ask side on the dome. And that's all that order flow is where is there more depth on the bid side or the ask side on the dome as one candle forms. That is data that you do have. So if you're looking at executed trades, like how many trades were executed at the bid or executed at the ask, that's data we don't have. But if you're just looking at market depth, are there 3 times as many orders sitting on the bid side as on the ask side? That's what's reflected by the market delta, at least our market delta. And that you can absolutely get on the Forex. Arthur, I listen. If you want to do it, I'll just make an appointment with me, and I swear I'll show it to you in about half an hour. I swear. Well, let me show you something, because I'm not kidding you. Here's my control panel, and nothing's happening. I have no charts, and I don't know why. I closed it, reopened it, and I have no charts. So I believe me, I tried. I'm not hiding anything. I mean, trust me. Nothing came up. Hold on a minute. Here, let me show you that again. There's my control panel. It's just sitting there. And I got no charts on. I have no charts at all. That's the only reason why I can't do it. Believe me, I would love to. That's one of our best trading instruments is the E-mini. I consider it to be it's my money. It's my money market. Crude did the same, Vadim. 5-2-10. Exactly the same settings for crude. Right now, it's only 7. And soon it will be for 7 and 8, Hala. Currency futures, like the 6E, the 6E, the 6B, are going to be one faster. So I wish I could put up a UniRenko for you. It's a modified input. And if you send me an email, Mark B, I'll give you the inputs for them. They're not exactly half because when it doesn't split down the middle, we round up. And you have to keep that 2-tick offset. That 1-tick offset does not work. So I will just send it to you. I wish I could bring up a 6C chart because I haven't looked at one in a while and I don't want to give you a wrong number. But if you send me an email at info@Rightline Trading, I'll give you the UniRenko offset. And if I could bring up a chart, I would show you the 6E. Thank you, Hala. I appreciate that a lot. I do. Well, we want you. Listen, I don't want to gouge you. I just want to make you money, and I think this will. And you're going to be in the room with me, Hala. And let me tell you something. Almost every day we take money out of the market. Not every day. I wish it was every day, but it's most days. We had a guy in the room this week who made $6,000. And he makes, he makes a lot of money. I keep kidding him. I want to come by his house and get a no interest loan. But he made $6,000, and we had a lot of people trading 2 contracts who made $1,000. We had great trades. Thank you, Mark. That's right. It's NT 7.5. No. Al, they won't work. The original indicators set for UniRenko are not going to work. Every one of these indicators has a uni set for it, and they've been retooled to work on UniRenko. You can try it. but I don't think you have a UniRenko input on Ninja. And trust me, we've done a lot of work on the 3-line. It's a different 3-line. Remember something, Al. The multi-time frame assessment of the other 3-line is based on taking longer time frame range bars. You can't do that with this system. You have to take longer time frame UniRenko bars. So you're going to get a 3-line that is not projecting the right color for you. I would love for it to work for you, but it just won't do it. It's not NT8 yet. No, David, the halo is the 3-line. And you can control the thickness of the halo and the color of the halo. So I wish I had the freaking system. I made my down color yellow and my up color blue with a thickness of 3. You know what? We have somebody in the room who's colorblind, which works great for him. So, but you can make the up color anything you like, green, and you can make it cyan. It doesn't matter, and you can make it 4 thickness and make it even thicker or thinner. It's up to you. Okay, Mark, I'm telling you, we are getting an independent guy. I swear to you, he's already done a little bit of work for us. Thank you, Ted. JP is okay. I wish I could talk to him. You know, Ted, it's a good consideration. I hate to say it, but if you email it to me, I will make that a part of Sergio's to-do list, because I think it's a very, very, very relevant signal, and you won't miss it. What Ted wants to do is create a special signal for when you get, say, a blue halo on a down candle or a red halo on an up candle, signaling to you that you're very likely, if the next candle follows through to the downside or the upside, it's a great trade. And that's a good signal. So we will work on it. But let me tell you, if you just trade 2 instruments, you're never going to miss that signal. Because when you're on the right edge, but we will signal it for you. It's real easy. But when you're on the right edge and you see an up candle with a yellow halo, it hits you right in the kisser. The candle color itself, the candles are just up, are red up and they're green down. That's all. The halo is the projection of the 3-line. And you know what? Even though I don't have it, let me project just another slide for you, and just to clarify. Now hold on, let me just. I have a million slides that I just don't want to. See, this yellow halo is the 3-line. This blue halo is the 3-line. Now you can control the thickness and you can control the color. And what I do is I prefer to make the 3-line transparent. I don't need to ever look down here. All I need to do is look at the candle halo. And that's what happens here. See, I made the 3-line disappear. But it's still analyzing the data. It's on your chart. It's just colors transparent. So I don't need those 3 lines. But it's still coloring the candle halo. So creating the candle halo. And you got that down candle red with an up 3-line and up candle on a down 3-line and down. No entry. No 3-line because it's black. No 3-line, no 3-line. If you want to give it a little chase and go in on the next candle, you could. So now I think it should be really clear from just looking at this slide. This is the clean chart. And if you want to, you can always just leave the 3 line up. That's totally up to you. And I still don't have any charts on NinjaTrader. No, Mark, we're not looking at closed execution order flow. I agree with you. That is not possible to get on Forex. We can't, that you're completely correct. Mark is talking about closed execution orders as a part of order flow, and it can be done. We just look at market depth, and I'll tell you, it really does give you a great feeling for who's in control, the bulls or the bears. Correct, exactly, Mark. We're looking at order book for order flow indication, correct. The candle color again, David, right here. All 3 of these lines are red, and it's outlined in yellow. And down marked price goes. It's just telling you you have order, you have momentum, stochastic, order flow aligned to the downside. Right here. Right here, red, red, red. Yellow halo, yellow halo, yellow halo. Here, it goes black, but you're already in the trade. And it'll happen. And it's irrelevant. Down goes the trade. Same thing here. I mean, this could be stochastic divergence that fails. And you see that line you really actually do lose is the stochastic line. And I find almost all divergence signals fail. So once you're in, it's going to carry down. And when you're in with I already know the 3 lines turned, you got yourself a nice signal. Even if on a continuation, without that 3 line turn prematurely, you're going to get a nice move down. I mean, I got so many E-mini winners this week. The only market I find, I always get a heart attack when I trade it, is crude, because it jerks around. And I had a loser. I went 4 ticks, 5 ticks is my first target. And the institutional guys started, throwing in 7,000 contracts a minute, and it blew right away. It didn't just blow me out of the trade. It went up like 45 ticks. And that's why crude, makes me nervous, and why we may just move to a different instrument. Are the highs and lows of the non-tail UniRenko? Those are real, John. They're not calculated. They're real. Oh, it's not, JP. If you look at what you got, I mean, I'll talk to you on the phone. It is absolutely not, JP. Not even close. So it isn't true. David, the candle color represents the alignment of order flow, stochastic, and momentum, either to the downside or to the upside. That's what the candle color inside, these are just down candles, red, 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 red. These are up, green, green, green. The halo is the alignment of the 3 line. Is order flow, stochastic, and momentum aligned to the upside, the downside, or not aligned at all? Downside yellow, upside blue, halo, no alignment, black. Sure you can. Thank you so much, Hala. Thank you. Mark, they're not exposed to bloodhound yet. It's on our to-do list. We will. I don't want to mislead you. It is not yet. I know it's static, simply because it's all. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you? I think you can see it now. I apologize. I am sorry. No, it's a completely different version, Al. This is a complete. If you call us, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it, Al. Just send me an email or give me a call. Okay, David? Got it. I'm sorry that it was not visible. I apologize to that. The 1 month HALA can start whenever you like. Okay? If you want to wait a couple of days or wait, you know, it's just like Lee. I mean, if you want an extra week, we'll give you 5 weeks. I'm telling you, we're not going to. We're just not we're not like that, HALA. You come aboard, you know, on the 28th day. We don't just snuff you out, believe me. So if you want an extra week, it's no sweat at all. Okay, I'm glad you see it. Okay, listen, guys, thank you so much. I hope everybody understands. Have a great evening, have a great weekend. I hope you'll come aboard. It is my goal in the training room to make money every single day for my traders. Every day. It doesn't happen every day, but that's my goal. And the signals are great and they follow through. All it does is take patience and discipline. And usually when I have a bad day, it's my fault. I don't wait. So that's really it. I listen, no matter what you do, I wish you all the best of luck. We're all the small guys. We don't trade a 500 lot or a 50 lot or a 75 lot. We trade 2, 4, 6 contracts. We have to trade with the big guys. Really what this is doing is telling you the direction of institutional money. When order flow, stochastic, and momentum are aligned in the same direction on the 2 higher UniRenkos, it's because the big money is moving the market. Otherwise, you're just going to move and chop. Okay, I'll call you, JP, and we will go over it. Not a problem. Let me just write that number down. Hold on. Okay. No problem. And 933. Okay, hold on. I got it. 15 minutes. We'll give you a call. Okay. Okay. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. Have a happy, safe weekend, and let's make some dough. Take care, all. Bye.